Hello, everybody. My name is Miyoko Schinner, and I'm I'm a vegan chef, cookbook author, founder of actually a number of companies in the United States. I'm also a lecturer at UC Berkeley now in the Plant Futures program, which is working with students to imagine what a future based on plants, on veganism could look like. It's amazing that UC Berkeley even has a course like that, and I'm just loving being there, working with the students there. So anyway, we're just going to kind of wing this, if you know what that means, because we're just getting started here. But I'm going to make you a very simple mozzarella that we're going to turn into a panzanella salad, a bread salad. Do we have bread? Yep. Yes. Okay, good. All right. And then we're going to make a zucchini basil soup. And so you'll just have to bear with us because we're just getting started and getting prepped up and all of that. And I don't remember your name. Athena. Okay, so Athena is going to be my assistant here. And she's going to start by grating the zucchini. We're going to make a, so we probably need to throw this away, maybe? Is that a place to just toss that on the ground, maybe? I don't know. Is there, whatever. Or we can use this. So I'm going to have Athena grate the zucchini, because this soup is made with grated zucchini that gets salted, because zucchini is a bland vegetable. And I know you have this wonderful Greek dish that's stuffed with rice. You can stuff zucchini or peppers or tomatoes, and I had it, and it was fabulous. But this is a soup where we're going to grate the zucchini, salt it. Yep. We're going to actually zucchini. Yep, in here. You're going to grate it in here. Okay. And then we're going to salt it, and we have to let it sit for about 20 minutes. So in the meantime, we are going to make an instant mozzarella, one that comes together in a few minutes. Now, I wrote a cookbook in 2012 called Artisan Vegan Cheese, which was the first book written on the subject of fermenting plant milks into making them into cheese. And then I started a company. I'm no longer involved anymore. We went our separate ways. But for about 8 years, I led a company where we made cheese out of mainly cashews, and they were fermented. We also made butter. But I have a new book coming out next year. My freedom has allowed me back on the bench to experiment. So I have a new book coming out next year called The Vegan Creamery, and it's everything from milk to yogurt to butter to cheese to ice cream, everything that would come out of a creamery. And I have gone way beyond cashews, and we're making cheese from all sorts of ingredients, all sorts of seeds, as well as legumes. I know this is near Cyprus, and I've been vegan for 45 years. So I have never had halloumi, but halloumi is very popular in America now. So I thought, well, I asked some people, well, what does it taste like? And they told me, and I made a halloumi out of mung beans, and I call it malumi because, anyway. So that and many other recipes like that will be in my new cookbook, and it's totally different recipes. So, but this is an old recipe, very simple. Most of my cheeses take at least 24 hours, if not several months, because they're made like dairy cheese. You make the milk, and then you coagulate it, and then you ferment it, and then you separate the curds from the whey, and then you press it, and then you let it age for many months. But this is one that's a real quickie. That's why we can do it in the next 30 minutes, so that you can taste it. Hopefully, it'll work anyway. I'm not sure about the quantities of anything here, so I'm going to be just guessing. And this is more or less a recipe you want to follow exactly so that the quantities are right. But I'm not following it exactly because I don't know what these measurements are, so I'm just going to be winging it. I think this is a lot of cashews, so I'm going to use maybe half or so. Now, these were soaked in water, and I asked them to do that because I wasn't sure what sort of blender would be here. But if you have a high-speed blender, you don't need to soak them. The reason you soak them is that it makes it easier to puree. So I don't really know how much I have in here. I'm just going to throw some in there. That looks like the right amount. So I think that's probably the right amount. We probably don't need all of that. Now, cheese is fermented. Even mozzarella undergoes a very short lactic fermentation. Not long, but just enough to lower the pH slightly so that it tastes a little bit cheesier than the milk itself would. But this is a recipe that utilizes, could you reach over and get me that yogurt? That utilizes yogurt. So, okay. So, epidopion. Epidopion. I studied ancient Greek in college, but that was like many, many years ago. And I know the only thing I remember how to say is what is virtue, which at the time was T-S-D audite, and I guess it's T-A-Nai audite now. I don't know. But anyway, I studied philosophy, so I read a lot of Plato and Aristotle and so on. Okay, so we're going to put in an equal amount, and I'm guessing, once again. I do not know exactly. Okay, so that looks right. The yogurt is going to give it a slight tang. And then we're going to add a little bit of water to this to help it puree. Thank you. And maybe about 100 milliliters or so. That's about 100 milliliters, right? That was exactly 100 milliliters. Spot on. So, and then we're going to puree this. But we have to plug it in first. In the front. Okay. By the way, the first time I came to Greece was in 1978, and no one spoke English. And now everybody speaks English. So thank you for, because I didn't learn Greek in that time. So anyway, all right, I'm going to turn this on, see how it works. Okay. What am I doing wrong? Oh, okay. There we go. All right. And we're going to let it run for, okay. We're going to let it run for a couple of minutes because we want it to be completely creamy. We don't want chunks of cashews in your cheese. We want it to be smooth and creamy. And do we have salt? Salt. Thank you so much, Athena. All right. So is this epidopio? Is this the word for yogurt? I can't hear. One more second. Let me turn this off and then I'll hear. Okay. Oh, dessert. Oh, it's sweet? Is this one sweet? No. Okay. Okay. I can't read it anyway, but. All right. Is it ganak, tokotnia, nika, sogia? Sogia, is that sugar? So, is that sogia? Sogia? Soy. Oh, sogia is soy.
Without lactose.
Oh, okay.
Soy,
Okay. All right.
no sugar.
Okay, good. No sugar. We like that. All right, let's check this out. Sorry, I'm trying to read my. I've forgotten the Greek alphabet, so it's been 40 years. So, okay. Do we have a? Yeah, there we go. One of these things, a little scraper. So I'm just gonna push these down to make sure that I don't have chunks of cashews in here. It looks pretty smooth, but I still see cashew chunks from the side. So I'm going to scrape it down and then run it one more time. Let's see. I just need a little thing to put this in. Here's a little thing to put it in so I don't make a mess. And run it one more time. Let's see. Oh. All right. And I am so excited that veganism is growing in Greece. I mean, it's amazing. And the food is so fresh. In the United States, veganism, I think, has taken the wrong turn where it's really focusing on highly processed sort of vegan junk food. And if you go to a vegan festival like this, it's all junk food. And it's sad because there is some junk food, but there's also really fresh-looking food, which is nice to have, you know. So good for you. All right, I'm going to get a little pot. I think this is the smallest pot, maybe? All right. No, this is perfect. This is perfect. And I'm going to need this. What we're going to do now, sorry, just ignore me because I knock everything over. That's just, in my house, like, and if you have ever watched me cooking, I'm spilling things, dropping things. That's just the way it is. Don't worry about it. I'm just being normal. All right, so now I think it looks pretty nice and creamy. But it's not solid. So we need to make this solid, and we need to give it a texture that's like mozzarella, which is slightly stretchy and pliable, not hard as rock. Notice this recipe has no oil. It's just the cashews, the fat from the cashews, and the yogurt. So you don't need to add any oil to it to make it delicious. I know I saw some tapioca around here somewhere. All right, so we go. All right. And no. Oh,
One more?
let's do one more.
Okay.
She's going to grate one more. Do you have any way to open this? Scissors or knives? A knife will work. Thank you. All right, I got a knife here. And, you know, I need about 50, 60 grams. I don't have a way to measure it, so I'm just going to... there is? Okay. Well, you know what? Since I'm doing this anyway, I'm just going to wing it. One. Okay. That's probably, yeah, about 4 tablespoons. That's good enough. There. That's what I meant. There is never a cooking demo I do where I don't knock things over. So just get used to it. And then I think I forgot to put the salt in there, so I'm going to add some salt. And we're going to puree that one more time in a second. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to get the agar ready. Does anyone know what agar is? No. Okay, so I'm going to tell you. Here it is. All right. So it's called agaranta here, I guess. Agar powder. There's lots of words for it. In Japanese, we call it kanten. But it's basically a seaweed derivative that acts like gelatin. It firms things up. It's a very hard gel. It's not elastic at all. So to make it elastic, you want to combine it with another ingredient like tapioca. So the combination of tapioca and agar, or cornstarch and agar, will create a more flexible gel, which is what we want. So I'm going to wing this again. I have no idea how this is going to turn out because I'm just guessing all of the ingredients. And I don't know. This looks a little different from mine. I want to make sure. There's no sugar in here, right? I just want to make sure.
No sugar.
Okay, good. Because sometimes they sell agar with sugar. I got some in Italy one time. It had sugar in it, and I had to use a lot more to make it work. So, okay. So I'm going to, this is really weird. I don't usually do this, but I'm doing it. That's just how it is. So the thing about agar is, how many of you have worked, before you went vegan, how many of you worked with gelatin? A handful of you. Okay, now gelatin, you do not want to boil. You only bring it up to a certain temperature. Agar, you have to boil it. It will not work unless you bring it to a near boil. It has to reach about 100 degrees Celsius. I think that's right. All right, so now I am going to, it looks like this. It's cloudy. I'm going to turn this on, if I do this right, and I'm going to put a lid on it because I want to bring it to a boil as soon as I can, as quickly as I can. Yep, that's on. Okay. And we're going to keep an eye on it. It should take only a couple of minutes for this to come to a boil. And I think you're good. I think you're good. Yeah. That's good. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Athena. Everybody, round of applause for Athena and her grating skills. All right, so now this is very watery, not a lot of flavor. And we want to concentrate that, so where's that salt again? Here we go. We're going to salt this zucchini, a lot of salt. It's all going to drain out. And could you just, you got gloves on, just, yep. And we're going to let that sit for about 20 minutes, maybe before, because, you know, so we can get it done. That's good, thank you. And you're going to see a lot of green liquid that's going to drain out of here. And then we're going to have this concentrated flavor of zucchini that will make our soup much tastier. And you did get basil, right?
Yes, here.
Okay, great. Okay. Yes, she's going to go wash her gloves. All right, let's see how this is doing. It's going to take a little bit. Not ready yet. Are you all vegan or vegan curious or just checking things out? Who's vegan here? Wow, that's great. Okay, how many of you are what they say veg curious? You're just checking it out and seeing what they. Good, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm really curious to know in Greece, what are the primary reasons for adopting a vegan diet? Is it ethics? Is it health? Is it environment? Ethics. Okay, great. All right, wonderful. Yeah, I'd love to learn about why people adopt veganism.
Not the first reason, because we already consider the Mediterranean diet very healthy.
Yes, so.
Not many people are accepting, oh, when vegans for health. Okay, you didn't need to.
Okay.
But ethics, number one.
Okay, so this lady in the front just said that the reason ethics is so important here is that because it's a Mediterranean country, most people already believe they're eating a healthy diet. And so the primary driver is ethics around animals, around maybe workers. There's a slaughterhouse worker exhibition in there. I love the fact at a veg fest in America, I've never seen an exhibit like that. You know, it's usually more around food for vegans. So this is great. It's very informative. You're sharing with everybody else. The fact you have 30,000 people here, that's pretty incredible. Okay, it's coming to a boil. Now, what happens with agar as it boils is at first it's going to get really hard. And you're going to think you made a mistake. But then it will re-liquefy and turn to liquid again. So it goes through this phase. And what we're going to do, when the agar is ready, is we're going to pour this in there. Oh, wait a minute. I got to blend the tapioca first. All right, I blended the tapioca in there. All right, it's beginning to boil. I certainly hope I got the quantities right, because if it doesn't come out, don't blame me, okay? All right. Yeah, we'll blame the yogurt. Fanis is right. I met Fanis earlier. All right, it's boiling away. Oh, look at that. It is boiling away. Now, this is the most important part. I hope I added enough agar to this. Because if I didn't add enough, then we're not going to get nice, firm balls. Okay, I need to reblend this. The tapioca hasn't completely been incorporated. But, oh, okay. Okay, I'm crossing my fingers, hope this works. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to pour this into my agar, which is boiling away. As you can see, it's like liquid. And we're going to get that in there. Thank you. And you want to mix it as fast as you can because agar solidifies when it is exposed to cold. And so when the cold liquid hits the hot agar, if you don't mix it quickly enough, you can get little chunks or threads of agar in there, and we don't want that. So let me get it all in there. And do we have a bowl of ice water or not? Yes, thank you. All right, so it's beginning to get to be like that. It's not quite there yet. We want it to be really, really thick. So the new mozzarella in my upcoming cookbook is actually made out of watermelon seeds. And it makes the best mozzarella. It makes the best milk. The milk is like whole, it's like dairy milk. It's so thick and it coats your tongue. All right, so now, as you can see, it's getting goopier and goopier. Yeah, did you have a question? Where do you find watermelon seeds? Well, you can get them online. So it's a snack in places like China and India and parts of Africa. So they are available even in Europe because I did a cooking show. I did a master class cheese series for a new online platform called Meet the Vegans, and I made that mozzarella. It's available if you go to meetvegans.com. You can sign up for that. And so I had to get watermelon seeds, or they had to get it, and they were able to get it from Amazon in Europe. So it is available. Okay, look how stretchy and goopy that is becoming. And that's from the tapioca. But it's not solid. So how do we make, yep, and then I need water in there. Okay, I'm going to pour water. All right, so now Athena has gotten me a bowl of ice water and a little more ice. Yep, so, and this is now ready. You want to cook it until it's shiny. Shiny tells you that the starch has completely gelatinized. If you don't cook it until it's shiny, that means you might still get a starchy mouthfeel, and you don't want that, all right? So you can just see the pot here. All right, so now we are going to do you have an ice, something to scoop it with? Ice, here, I'll just, spoon. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so if you want to make mozzarella balls, you get an ice cream scooper and maybe one more spoon, just so I can, yeah, thank you. All right, so you can do it any way you like. You can let this cool for about 10 minutes and then you can roll it into a log using plastic wrap, or we're in a hurry, so I'm going to drop it into ice water like this. And the ice water is going to solidify the agar so that this is going to be ready to eat relatively soon. And do you have a cutting board for the onions and things? Okay, great. And then we're going to move on to the soup and the salad. We're going to put this into the salad when it's ready. Get that all in there. The thing that people often say is, and I was told, I went out to dinner the other night and I sat across from one of the sponsors of TEDx, and he said, I could give up meat, but I will never give up cheese. And that seems to be a constant theme with people all over the United States and Europe, is that cheese is really hard to give up. Anyone have an idea as to why? Casein, yeah, casein. I mean, it releases an opiate called casomorphine. It's literally an opiate. Makes you feel good. So But you know, you can get over it quickly. All right, so this is really gooey, but look. Yeah, they're already beginning to solidify. I hope I put enough agar in. If I didn't put enough agar in, then it's going to be a little mushy. And pardon me if that is the case. Athena, can we get a little bit more ice in here, and then it'll chill a little faster. Now, this takes about 20 minutes before it solidifies, so the colder it is, the faster it'll solidify. So we're just going to get it cold, and we're just going to let it. But see, I can already pick it up. So it's beginning to form. It's still, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll just let that sit for about 20 minutes, and we're going to get started on the soup. All right, it's a bigger. So I'm going to start off by slicing, like we're going to get a pot. I guess, is this, here we go. Now this is a soup that is very easy to make. Okay. And you don't have to slice this exactly because it's all going to get pureed in the blender. So we will need the blender to be washed. Yes. Okay. But I just want to get these. So you're going to take an onion, and we're just going to chop it up roughly. Okay. And I'm going to heat my stove, my pot here. And you have a choice. You can saute it in the Greek favorite olive oil. I love it too. Or you can saute it in water if you're trying to limit your oil intake. The issue with water is that it takes twice as long to saute the onion. And that's totally fine. But I'm doing a demo, so I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. Because it's golden bio, extra olive oil. It's Greek olive oil, so I have to use it since I'm here. Yes, I have to absolutely use it. Okay, is this going on? Yeah, I guess it is. All right. So I'm just going to heat up the olive oil a little bit, get that in there, just so I can saute the onion quickly. And as you can see you see the green liquid that's beginning to form inside the bowl there? Okay, it's very salty zucchini-flavored liquid. We're not going to use it. However, I use it to make bread. It's really, you just take that zucchini water, add a little bit of yeast, some flour. It already has salt. Let it sit overnight. Let it undergo its own fermentation, and bake a beautiful loaf. It's really tasty. So I try not to waste anything. I try to use everything I can. And in my upcoming new book, because we make curds and separate the whey from the curds, I use the whey, which is fermented now, to make bread. So you're getting an instant sourdough bread without having to make sourdough starter. So, all right, we're going to get the onions in here. It's not quite hot enough, but that's a big onion, so I'm going to save that. That is a big onion. We'll save that for the salad. And a little more, I'm going to salt it, just a pinch of salt, because this is so salty, we won't have to add much. And a spoon. Do you have some kind of, thank you. Okay. All right. So. And we have some, do you have more basil, or is this it? Okay. Because I need it for the salad, too. Okay. Yeah, if we can get, like, 2 more, if we have 2 more of these, or no? Okay, she's going to ask. Okay, good. All right. I'm going to put a lid on that just so that that also cooks quickly. Let's see how these are doing. Oh, they're firming up. Yeah, they're getting firmer. Yeah, they are definitely getting firmer. All right. But I may not have put enough agar in, so they may be softer. So it'd be more like burrata than mozzarella, see? So anyway, you can always, yeah, you can always improvise. You guys know, anyone listen to jazz? Here? Okay. So Miles Davis used to say, it's not what you get into, it's how you get out of it. Because when you're improvising, you're going to make mistakes. When you're in the kitchen, you're going to make mistakes. And what are you going to do? Throw out that entire pot that you put the wrong amount of something in? No, you figure out, how do I fix it? How do I make it into something new? And you can always make it into something new. So anyway. So we're just sauteing these onions until they're tender. And we're going to get another bowl. We're going to start on the panzanella salad. Do we have a big bowl? Or?
Yes, we do.
Great. Fantastic. Oh, good. This is good because you can see. While this is sauteing, we're going to get started on the panzanella salad. So we have garlic. I'm going to chop this. I'm going to just chop up the rest of this onion a little bit so we can get it in there. I had some delicious Greek tomatoes the other day for dinner. They were so good, these cherry tomatoes, I couldn't stop eating them. And I'm also thrilled that you have so many animal sanctuaries here in Greece. I'm also the founder of an animal sanctuary in California called Rancho Compasión. Heather, are you around? Heather, turn around if you see. So come around here, just show everybody your T-shirt. So Heather is on the board of the nonprofit Rancho Compasión, and she's wearing one of our T-shirts. So we have a farm animal sanctuary, maybe 120 animals or so. So we have everything from cows and pigs, goats and sheep, ducks and geese, llamas, alpaca, so on. But we also have a youth education program. So we have an after-school program for little kids all the way up through high school. And we try to provide sanctuary to special needs kids as well. So we work with 2 schools that work with kids that have disabilities or autistic. We also work with a school for kids that are at risk, meaning they would get into they could cause legal problems, and end up in the legal system, because we believe that when you can tap into that compassionate part of a child at a young age and awaken them to the sentience of animals, that they're going to make different choices. We don't lecture about veganism, we just connect them with animals. And then we have an organic vegetable garden where they get in there and they plant vegetables and harvest them and eat them, and we cook together, and they make the connection. We call it the Friends and Food Program. So they learn who is a friend and what is food. And for example, we have one disabled, what is it called? She has learning disabilities, and she also has seizures. And we have a turkey that has seizures, an aging turkey. And so she says, I love Fred because he has seizures just like me. And so she finds this sanctuary for a safe place for her as well, too. And when you provide kids with that opportunity to connect with animals and give them sanctuary, it opens up their hearts, and they choose differently. You don't have to tell them. I think I need to turn this down because I'm going to burn, because I'm talking and I'm going to burn. But that's just how I am. All right. What I'm going to do is start squeezing this. Could you do me a favor and make me some vegetable broth? So I'm going to squeeze the zucchini. It's salted, and we're going to try to get all that salt water out. But it's going to retain it's going to concentrate the flavor of the zucchini. I'm going to, is there any more water? I'm going to put water in here right now before I burn the pot. Yep, she's going to pour some water in there. You can put all of that in there. And then we'll just throw the vegetable stock, all of it, yep. Then we'll throw the vegetable stock in there. I don't know how strong that is, so I don't know how many you need. Okay, so as you can see, we had about maybe 2 kilograms of zucchini here, and it ends up being very small because we're getting rid of all that water. And as I mentioned, don't throw away that water. You can use it. It's salty, so it would be too salty for soup, but putting it in bread is perfect. Making a loaf of bread out of it is absolutely perfect. I wouldn't put it in plants either, but making bread out of it's a really good idea. So you can make crackers out of it too, although it would be too watery. So yeah, stick with bread. Well, it would be very salty. You can keep it for broth, but it would be very salty, so you would probably want to dilute it. Yeah, more water, yeah. That's why I'm not using it in here, because I added all that salt. But we're almost done with this. And as you can see, all that green, lovely green water, can you see back there? Okay, so don't throw that away. You can use that. I mean, it'll get thrown away here, but just saying. All right, so I'm going to turn the heat up now. And I think we need a little bit, oh, is this more water for me? Okay. This one here? Yeah. We're going to throw some more water in there. Yep, keep like half of that maybe. And we have to cook this for about 10 minutes until the zucchini is fully cooked. A little bit more. All right, I'm going to put a lid on there. That's good, thank you. We can find a lid somewhere. Is there a cover for that? Okay. Thank you. It's all right. It's fine. Okay. And I'm going to give this to you. Thank you. All right. We're going to go back to the panzanella salad. And that'll all be done for everyone to taste. So we're just going to chop up the tomatoes any way you like. You can use cherry tomatoes. The juicier the tomato, the better, because we want the tomato juice to come out of the tomatoes and kind of make a big pile of juicy stuff in there that we're going to put the bread into and soften up the bread. So, you can try to find the sweetest, ripest tomatoes you can for this dish. And it's very, very rustic. Is there a similar salad in Greece, panzanella, made with bread? So the Italians have the art of using up leftover bread. So you never throw away your bread, no matter how hard it gets. Yes? Okay. Dried bread, yes. So that's what you do in Italy, is you just let, your bread gets stale. So what do you do with it? Well, you turn it into panzanella salad or papas pomodoro, which is a cooked dish with bread and tomatoes, or you put in gazpacho, that works in there too. You just basically repurpose it in some, not just breadcrumbs, you turn it into all sorts of dishes. Because most of these countries, as you know, historically, Greece too, largely a vegan country. Not because early Greeks or early Italians said we want to save animals, it was because of what you had. And that's the answer. Like, we just have to go back to eating the way we ate. And, culturally, if you have any older people that are resistant to veganism, one thing is to just let them know, look, this was the tradition, and we can revive it. And if they can find beauty in that, then, you can get them to adopt that. The only country that was really never vegan was the United States. So, even 200 years ago, the British were surprised to come to the United States and see the American colonists and how much meat they ate in the United States. Because they had so much land, they were able to raise a lot more livestock, and therefore, even 100, 200 years ago, the typical American diet consisted of a lot of meat. That is an anomaly. That is very rare in the history of humankind. Nowhere in the world did people eat that much meat. The average American now eats over 100 kilograms of meat a year. Yes. I mean, it's just shocking. All right, I'm going to add some olive oil here because I'm in Greece, so I have to. I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar to this. Thank you. All right. Athena, my assistant, is going to take it off. And I'm going to just chop up some garlic in the meantime. This is beautiful garlic. Yeah? Yes. We went to a farm. We stumbled on a farmer's market in Athens, and we were just delighted. It was just so beautiful. And it was an olive cellar with all these olives, and we just wanted to buy everything and go back to our hotel and cook it, but we couldn't because we didn't have a kitchen, or we would have. I'm going to throw some salt in there. And I just want to let this sit for a few minutes because I want the juices to come out of the tomatoes because that's what we're going to moisten the bread with. And I'm going to crush my garlic and throw that in there as well. Let's see, do you have a trash can?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, please. She's going to hand out recipes, actually. So. It's in Greek. Oh, it's in Greek. Well, okay, I guess I won't be, yeah. Not really.
We're looking for basil, but I'm afraid...
That's it?
Yeah.
All right, well, we may not have any basil in the salad then. None of the food stalls have it? No? Okay.
Dry?
No, I mean,
Have dry.
I can put some dry in there, yeah. Sure, thank you.
Dry, yes, it's here.
Okay, well, we'll put some dry in there. Won't be as good as fresh, but you know what? You make it work. So, all right, I'm going to add some garlic to this. And we're just going to let that sit for a minute. And let me just look at the mozzarella. That is boiling. Let's check the mozzarella. All right. I'm going to, it's a little soft, so I don't think I added the agar right. So it's going to be more like, as I mentioned, but I can slice it.
Nice.
And as you can see, it's got this nice stretch. And we'll see how it tastes. We're going to throw it into the salad along with the bread. So this is the bread. All right, the bread you can cut, you can tear. Ideally, you want this to be dry. So it's not dry, but, you know, as I said, like as Miles Davis said, you make it work, right? We're improvising. Everything, life is improvising. So you have to improvise through life, and that's what we're doing. So, yes. Yes, I mean, you can use, well, in my new book, I'm using watermelon seed, which is really, really great. You can use almonds that are peeled. They don't peel. What you have to do is, after you're going to have to make a really rich almond milk, and then you're going to have to squeeze it through a nut milk bag, and you're going to have to make an almond milk that's almost like a cream, if that makes sense. Yeah. Are you allergic to cashews?
No, it's just it's a long story, but we want to do it for like scale it up, and cashews are a bit more expensive.
Oh, got it. Cashews. Okay. Well, almonds aren't. I guess almonds grow here. Do they grow here? Do you? Yeah. Okay. So that's probably cheaper than All right, so as you can see, we're getting a lot of juice here, but we want it to be a little bit juicier. I'm going to add a little bit of the basil. Let's see. And I don't know, where's my... I don't normally do this, but I'm going to pass around my phone so you can see what my new title is going to look like. It's got a really nice picture. Hold on here. All right, so I'll just pass this. This is what my new book is going to look. My publisher just sent it to me. You can pass it around. Just make sure it stays on there. So that's what the cover is going to look like when it comes out. So anyway. Yes?
Days does the cheese last?
So what I normally do is once it's ready, I put it in olive oil. And then it keeps for a couple of weeks. So, yeah, so we'll pass that around. You can see it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the bread to this. That's probably enough. That's probably enough, yep. And we're going to just sort of toss it so that the bread, see, I told you, this is just the way I roll. So you just have to, yeah. And I can't remember if I put salt on it or not. I'm going to add some. Ideally, you want to add fresh basil. We don't have any, so we're going to add this. Yes? 20 minutes has gone by. Okay, we're going to turn this off. And we are going to puree that. And we're almost done with everything. So I just turned it off. And I'm just letting it cool off for 2 seconds. I'm going to add the mozzarella to this salad. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, I'm going to throw. Who can catch? Ah, not that one. We'll do one more. Who's going to catch?
Let's try to be ready in 5 minutes.
Yep, I'll be ready in 5 minutes.
Should I help and cut?
Yep, you want to cut that? All right, Athena's going to cut that. We're going to puree the soup, and then we're going to give the soup a try. So I'm going to transfer the soup to this bowl. And how many of you have used a blender with a hot liquid and had to clean the ceiling? So the trick is you have to make sure, like, you want to take this off because you want the air to, all right, so don't put too much in it. Oh, this is a different blender. We got a different one now. How does this work? I'm trying to improvise, but it's not going on. Does anyone know how to make this thing work?
It's black. Yes, it is. No, yes.
Oh, no, that's going to blow it. Okay. I don't think that's, no. You don't want that. No. You don't want this. That, yeah. Oh, that's how it goes. Okay, we're going to do that. There we go. Yay! Good job. All right. Now I'm going to add the basil to that. I'm going to turn it off. All right. Ooh, beautiful basil. All right. We're going to throw some basil in there. I can smell the basil. Does it smell good? Throw that in there. Okay, we're going to redo that one more time. There we go. All right, we're going to throw this in here. And ideally, you want to put fresh basil in here as well for flavor and color, but I don't have enough for both the soup, so we're going to pretend that there's fresh basil in there. All right. So let's pour this in here. I just need a receptacle so that we can, and I forgot one more thing. The soup can be served like this, but if you want to make it creamier, we can add a few cashews to it, and that will make it very, very creamy, like as if you had added milk. I'm going to just pour this, okay? All right, so now we'll run that, and then we're going to combine the two. Sorry, this isn't ideal circumstances, but we're making it work. I'm going to just throw that in there just to get rid of it. And we're almost done. And the salad is ready. We're going to serve that to you guys. And then we'll have the soup. I'm going to add the rest of the basil to the soup. And if you're around, I'm giving a talk called Veganism, the Key to Happiness in the 21st Century at 8 o'clock. But you Greeks look pretty happy. So you're not. You look like it, but you're not. You pretend to be happy. Well, okay. You invent drama. Drama is good. Drama is good. You got to have a little in life, right? All right, so that's a slightly lighter color because I added the cashews. It's making it creamier. And I really don't want the little things in here, but if you want to start serving that and we can clean this up, then people can taste. And I think what I'm going to do is pour this in here to make it easy to pour. I can smell the basil. Ideally, you want a little bit more basil, but I think this will be good. I'm going to combine the two. And I'm going to be very, very careful now, okay? I'm going to just turn it on just a little bit. No, it has to lock just a little bit. Okay, good. So the soup is ready, and we can pour that as well in cups. Is that right?
Yes.
Little thick, maybe a little more broth, but I'll just pour a little bit, and Well, thank you all for watching this demo. Come on up and give it a try, and thanks for inviting me here. It's been a wonderful day. You guys are great, and make veganism happen in Greece. Save the animals. All right. Okay. I don't know if there's maybe smaller amounts because I don't know if there'll be enough for everybody, but anyway. Yeah. No, that one doesn't have any cheese. Let's give them, here, that one needs cheese. There we go. Maybe one piece of cheese per person, but sorry, there's a lot of you, so I don't know if there's enough to go around, but we'll do our best. Yeah. All right, thank you, everybody.